Hello world, here in Orlando, Florida, doing great today. And this video is going to be called, Why Do I Do What I Do? Why am I in the business of real estate? Who exactly am I? So, this is to kind of give you all an idea of who exactly I am and why am I in real estate? Why did I choose this profession and what do I stand for? I think one of the main keys for doing business is letting somebody know who you are, and so there's no reserves. And am I legitimate? Who am I as a person? I think that's what makes people comfortable, and I'm definitely a relatively open book. I like to let people know who I am, and I had some reserves in the past about making videos, and was always kind of like really weird about my voice. Do I sound weird but over time I realized that I'm actually pretty good at making videos, and I actually speak very well according to a lot of people. I guess they say I'm intricate is the word, and I guess I like to see people happy. I go to the gym and I meet with personal trainers, and I work with the workers there, and I'll just stop in and talk to them, and I'm like, hey, I'm so excited to see you and stuff like that. And I just think that that helps people's days. I think that even just today there's a guy that walked in. He's from Australia. I call him Ozzy. I said, what's to eat today, Ozzy? And he's just like, kangaroo. And I said, awesome. And he walked in and he was signing his badge to get in the gym, and I turned around, saw him, and said, Ozzy, what's going on? Shook his hand, and he's like, hey, I love this guy's energy. I was just walking in the gym, and I was just getting ready to do my stuff, and he's like, man, this guy just gave me motivation. He's all excited to see me, shakes my hand and all that. And I was always a very high energy person. I like to lift people up. I like to have fun. It's weird almost because I don't know. It's kind of funny because I almost like to be in relationships with females that actually have some type of problem. It sounds kind of funny, but what I mean in like that is like I like to be able to dedicate my time to lifting somebody up. I guess I feel like that's my purpose. This girl that I'm interested in right now, she, when I first met her, she was kind of down and out, because there's situations with her family, but now she's doing a little bit better with her life, and I'm kind of like, oh, that's cool, but not really like as into it as I was. I mean, I am to a certain degree, but to just the part of wanting to change. Just her circumstances. I just sort of feel as though I like to just be in a situation to where I'm helping somebody, I'm lifting somebody up, and I sort of feel like that's what I want to dedicate my time to. I want to be able to solve people's problems. And that's kind of like why I was attracted to her, because I'm just like, what, she's got some issues. I can give her advice. I can help build her up. I can make her feel better about a situation and think like this. And I feel like that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help people feel optimistic and help people look for a brighter future, and realizing that every day you can go ahead and feel good about yourself, feel good about your situation, feel good about the future. Perfect example why I love this business is there's a guy that I ran into in Ocoee, Florida. He was a retired fireman in Chicago, and it's crazy because he had a really big house. It was like 2,800 square feet, and a really nice. It was an HOA, and he had a girlfriend he just broke up with. They were together for a number of years. Her name was on the property, even though it was him that took out the loan and stuff. He put her on the property, and when I went to go see the house, he was very cordial with her. There wasn't no arguing. He said, hey, Marlene, can you print me off the appraisal? Oh yeah, no problem. And you think that a lot of people, they break up and, hey, can you print me off the appraisal? Oh, well, we're not together anymore. And you hear things like that, and oh, why should I do that? We're not engaged, we're not married, I'm not, you don't belong. You have to do what you say. And you realize, when you just get older, is that you stop stop just focusing on bad. And you might be in a situation that it might not work out, and the best thing to do is just say, okay, it's not working out, what's the best course of action to go from here? Do we keep squabbling, do we keep fighting, or do we just say, okay, let's agree to disagree and walk away? It's not going to work. Let's just okay, well, we're not in love anymore, or we can't agree, so all right, instead of ripping each other's heads off, let's just go your way, I go my way. And it was very, very exhilarating to see that, because I grew up in a family to where everything was very tick for tack. My mom would feel a certain type of way about what my dad would do, and she would try to avenge what he would do, and she was just very like that with a lot of us kids. She would get mad and wanna do some blackmail stuff, like, oh, I'm gonna call your girlfriend and tell her that you're doing this, and and I learned that today with the girl I was talking to, is that people do a lot of things out of spite, and they end up hurting more people than the person they want to hurt. So I just feel like just keeping things like that in perspective is just really key and really powerful, and just really kind of getting over your own self, understanding that there is a purpose, and there is forces at work that are greater than yourself, that are greater than your own belief. And I think that's just humbling, because even just the girl that I'm talking to, the very beautiful woman, she has her own belief system that that I can't just enforce my will on, and just like it's going to be like that. She's got her own way that she's raised and her own issues. So just understanding that people work like that, it's very humbling, and it puts things in perspective. And I have a lot of these conversations, and with a lot of people, and I'm just a very optimistic person, and I like to kind of put things in a philosophy. I can't even say the word right now. I'm very big on philosophy, and but just my views on just life are like that. I definitely believe that just whatever it is, lease purchases or whatever, it's skin in the game. There's so many people that they go about life and they don't want to put any skin in the game, whether it's working on their career or working on their relationship. What are you willing to really fight for? And that's what I stand for is taking those leap of faiths and opening yourself up, and just not making the excuses. Just a situation I have in my life right now. It's very interesting, because I guess I could go into it. It's really personal. It's just kind of funny, because oh man. So the girl that I'm interested in actually has a very, very big issue, that is just it's the chances of a future, are just it's, well, to me they're very big, because I just don't give up. I just if there's a small window opportunity to get in, I'm gonna go for it, because that's who I am as a person. I joined the Army, I'm a warrior, I push through, but in her eyes, just due to her circumstances, there wouldn't be very much of a future, or any future at all. But I make sure that I don't let anything hinder me. I make sure, it's just funny in life, because you just see so many people with divorce rates, so many people with just not happily married to the person they want to be with, or just their kids are a burden or whatever. And I apologize if you're one of those people who are watching this and you're going through what you are. I'm not judgmental or anything, but it's just a realization, even in my life, where you think you love somebody, or you think this is important, and then as time goes on, you kind of wake up, you're like, wow, well, I really didn't love that person. I really didn't think that was that important. And it's funny, because for some reason we always spend time on the things that we think are important that really just aren't important, or we hold on to people we think we love and we really just don't love. And the things that it's weird because we're willing to not give up things that are a hindrance to us, but yet we give up so easy on the things that we really care about. It's like with my situation with with my family, like my dad and my mom. They were in different bedrooms ever since I was like 7-8 years old. I've always remembered that. And they just kind of stuck together because my sister, she's got cerebral palsy, so they've adopted her and they're both like responsible for taking care of her. So that's kind of been the glue in the relationship. But my mom has a lot of like issues, like psychological issues and stuff like that, and she has the habit of pushing people away. So she ended up pushing away my brother, and he hasn't contacted her in like 2 years. And, because he hasn't contacted her, my dad's like, well, then I can't be a part of, my son's life, which is my brother, and because, he's at odds with my wife, our mother. And what's funny is because he's not happy with my mom, but yet he was willing to just, well, my son can't be in my life anymore, and just like, oh, that sucks. But yet, he doesn't want to be with my mom, but at the same time, like, he's holding on to it even though it hinders him, but yet my brother has never gave him any reason to, be comfortable with him not being in his life, but yet you could just let that go. So it's weird how things end up like that. Why do we hold on to things that are hindrances and let go things that are actually beneficial, that we actually really do want, that we actually have a passion for? I think because it's harder to hold on to the things that you really, really want. You have to fight for them a lot of the times, because think about it, the things that you really want are valuable, and if it was that easy to attain for everybody to have it, everybody would, and that's just really powerful with just dream building and making sure that you don't cut yourself short in just any venture or any opportunity in life. Because I honestly do believe that whatever you want, you got to be willing to go through the fire for. And what you don't want, that's what you should really be cutting off. Like I had a situation where a guy was working for me for the last year, and he's always been doing very good. And then just one day, he just stops performing. He just stops, checking in with me, and he stops performing the way he is. And I gave him multiple chances, and just this last time, he said he was going to do some work. I was waiting for him. He's not responding. He's just ignoring my calls, ignoring my texts, even though he's got duty. And I had to let him go. I had to cut him off and block his number. I told him goodbye. And I'm going to miss him. He was a very good worker. But at this point in time, he stopped performing on the duties that I expected of him. And in order for me to uphold my business and provide services for others, I need all cylinders moving in a correct wavelength, in a correct line. And when I have a link that doesn't operate in that, then I have to cut that off. No matter how much emotional attachment that I have to it, it has to be let go. And that's just a life lesson that I had to learn, because I grew up and I believed, just based on, my parents' relationship, because they've stayed together for so long, even though they fight and not want to be together. I kind of applied that to my life with friends and relationships. I always held on to my friends and held on my relationships, even though it was clear that it wasn't going to work. And it maybe has something to do with the fighter and the warrior inside of me, but I would hold on to very toxic relationships. And that's not to say, like, if you're not interested in somebody or you're trying to get your love back and they're just pulling back from it and stuff like that, and they're not showing real interest, I don't believe you should pull back. I believe if you really want it, go after it with everything you got, up until the point that it becomes toxic, and then you should just let it go. Once it's literally hindering your health and your ability to be happy pursuing this person or pursuing this opportunity, then it's no longer something that's beneficial for you, because now it doesn't make you happy. And I believe, I don't believe that everything in life you have to be 100% cheerful about and doing backflips off of, just, whatever it is. But I definitely believe that everything you do in life should have a little bit of zen to it, that you do enjoy it somewhat, So that's a little bit about who I am, just on the philosophy level, a little bit of who I am. Obviously, I'm a very deep thinker. I like to analyze life, analyze people and circumstances, and I'll just be making a part 2 of just a little bit about my family medical history and what I really stand for as far as just the mission statement and everything. So this is Devontae Arrington, Veteran Home Realty at Yahoo or gmail.com, 920-903-2941. Thank you.